Okay, welcome to Precision Searching Part 1. When you get into EBSCO and after you've chosen your databases, which I've shown you to do in class, there's a couple things you can do that makes your search much more successful. Most of you folks don't search well. You'll type in a phrase. EBSCO doesn't work like that. Google does. EBSCO doesn't. Your databases don't work like that. The first thing you're going to do is just search for keywords. If we just search for keywords, we have 216,000 sources. I don't know about you, I'm not going to go through that many. Now, if we want to widen our search, let's just say we're going to look for something like obese or obesity, anything to do with obesity. We can go back and we're going to truncate. And that means just putting an asterisk at the end, and that means I want all the endings that could possibly come with obesity. Now that's given us 20,000 more. Truncating works when you're working in a phrase so you don't miss anything. Truncating does not work when you're just doing a keyword search. Remember that. If it's just a keyword search, do not truncate. The best thing to do to start out is do phrase searches. Now I could search childhood obesity, and I'm going to get 19,000. That's still way more than I want to work with. Now if I put quotation marks around it, meaning I want them together, I'm cut the number in half. So what a phrase search does is tells EBSCO I want everything that comes back in a phrase where childhood obesity is together. Otherwise, if you don't put the quotation marks around it, EBSCO is going to pull every article that contains the word childhood and the word obesity. Makes a difference. You use the quotation marks. Now let's say I'm looking at the causes of childhood obesity. And my guess is exercise might have something to do with it. Just a thought. I'm going to use a Boolean search, meaning I'm going to use the connecting words and, or no to connect phrases and words. So now I'm down to 1,000. It's getting more manageable as time goes. Now let's just say I come over here, and first of all, if you didn't do this before, you want to limit your research or your resources to full text. You cannot use an abstract. So I'm going to limit to full text, cut down 400 right there. And we know pretty much that something from 1994 is not going to be a fabulous resource, especially considering it's medical. We're going to update. We probably want something within the last, 5-6 years. Now I'm down to 800. Limiting to full text and date limiting are two really quick ways to get rid of stuff you don't need. Let's say you've gone through, all 800, which God hope you haven't. You need other search terms. This is called content mining, and this is where your databases are fabulous and they're helpful. You can go down, if you go to academic journals, this is going to give you research. Magazines are popular, so something in People or Better Homes and Gardens, that's going to show up there. If you don't know what you're looking for and you need more terms, you can do this thesaurus search. Now here's different areas you could go back in and look. Now, obesity and children prevention, that's part of my paper. Now I'm down to 16 searches. Things are getting much easier to manage. If you want subject terms, again, this is content mining, people that are doing stuff about it. That's interesting, Shrek. You can go click on this stuff, and this will give you subjects within this. The last one I want to show you is nesting. And yeah, I don't know that it's all that fabulous for you to remember. But you can use a combination of parentheses, just like you would in math. You do the stuff that's in the parentheses first. And phrase and Boolean searches. So this really narrows down what you want. So let's say I have another suspicion that being online contributes to childhood obesity. Oop, almost forgot my phrase there. So what this parenthesis is going to do is say, EBSCO, go look for anything that's media or online. It's two different ways to look at it, and childhood obesity. Again, it's not full text. We're going to limit that. And I think I'm going to change my date within the last 6 years. Now I'm down to 389. And if I wanted to just look at academic journal studies, down to 108. I would only do the nesting after you've done some initial research. It's pretty involved until you know what exactly you're looking for in your search terms. So, to recap, if you start with a basic term, you're going to get a bunch. Use a phrase. Well, and of course, spell it correctly. With your quotation marks. Throw in a Boolean search. And then limit to full text, limit to date, and then also when you're, in there, look at your subject thesis terms, thesaurus terms, would I say thesis, and your subject terms down here. That's going to give you the quickest way to narrow down your results. We went from over 200,000 to 1,200 in literally seconds. And that, my friends, is perfect.